If you've ever had to make your own Ethernet cable, you've had one important decision to make. You have to choose between a standard RJ45, an easy RJ45, and an RJ45 with low bars. So in today's video, I'll show all three installations, and then I'm going to reveal which one you should choose and which one you should avoid. I'm Michael Scott, and not the one from The Office. So let's start with the standard RJ45 connector installation. We'll use a Cat6 cable for this setup, as well as a Cat6 UTP non-pass-through gold-plated connector, and all these product links will be listed below. The tools you'll need for this installation are a wire stripper and a standard Cat5e or Cat6 Ethernet crimper. At this point, you could put on a Cat6 boot cover if you want. Cat6 boot covers help protect the fragile RJ45 connectors. However, these boot covers are not mandatory, and if the cable you're installing will not be moved, then a boot cover may not be necessary. First, strip the wire back to about 1 to 1.5 inches. Next, separate all 4 pairs into 8 single wires. And then straighten all 8 wires. Just a heads up, the straighter and flatter you make these wires, the easier the installation. So take your time. Next, align the wires into the T568B configuration. The T568B configuration is the most popular. So once all 8 wires are straight and flat as possible, put them in the correct order from left to right. Orange, white, orange. Green, white, blue. Blue, white, green. Brown, white, brown. Once the wires are in the correct order, make sure they're all flat and straight as possible, and they should be pushed together very closely. Next, you want to trim the wires straight across. The length of the wire should be about 3/4 of an inch. This installation requires more precision when it comes to inserting the 8 copper wires into the plug. These connectors are also known as non-pass-through connectors, because the 8 copper wires are seated all the way to the end of the plug, but do not pass through the end like the easy RJ45 plugs. The trick here is to cut the length of all 8 wires to the ideal length so the shielded part of the cable goes as far as possible into the connector. The further it goes, the better. You want the least amount of exposed copper wire as possible. Now insert all 8 wires into the RJ45 connector. Go slowly and make sure all 8 wires go up straight, in the correct order. Sometimes these wires can kink up, especially if the wires aren't straight enough. Once the wires are inserted all the way, take a close look at the color configurations. Make sure all 8 wires are in the correct order and are touching the end of the connector. If you cut the wires correctly, the blue sheath of the cable should be inserted into the RJ45 connector. The idea is to have the least amount of exposed wires as possible. Once everything looks good, insert the connector into the RJ45 crimping tool. Make sure it's all the way in, and then squeeze the handle. You should hear a snap. This process permanently connects the plug to the wires. Next, pull the plug out of the crimping tool and inspect the connection. If it looks good, now it's time to test the cable. And I'll use a network cable tester. This will verify if all 8 wires are fully connected. And as you can see, our connector is all good. However, if you do not have a network cable tester, you can plug this connector into your network and see if it works. So what are the advantages of using a standard RJ45 connector? First, there are no exposed wire ends at the front. Everything stays inside the plug. Second, there is no dependency on a blade cut being perfect every time. Sometimes those specialized crimper blades can become dull. which leaves some wires cut and others not cut. And third, more universal tooling. Almost any standard crimper works with standard RJ45s. Also, some installers trust standard RJ45s for long-term durability, especially in tight spaces, patch panels, or anywhere cables get flexed a lot. Standard RJ45s just seem to last longer. But what about the disadvantages of a standard RJ45 connector? First, it's quite a bit harder for beginners. Getting all 8 wires even and fully seated is the pain point, and this process takes some patience. And even when you think you have it correct, you'll go to crimp the wires, only to find out one or more wires didn't reach the end. And second, it's just more time consuming, especially for beginners. So now let's install the Easy RJ45 connector, also known as a pass-through connector. We'll use a Cat6 cable for this setup, as well as a Cat6 Easy RJ45 pass-through connector, and all these product links will be listed below. The tools you'll need for this installation are a wire stripper and a specialized Easy RJ45 crimping tool. Once the wires are in the correct order, make sure they're all flat and straight as possible, and they should be pushed together very closely. And because this is an easy pass-through connector, the length of the wires doesn't matter. So now slowly and gently, push all the wires through the connector until the wires come out the other end. And from here you can validate the color order. If it's correct, it's time to crimp the RJ45. If it's not correct, then pull the wires back out. And then reorder the wires and then push them back in. To crimp an Easy RJ45 connector, use the specialized Easy RJ45 crimping tool, push the plug all the way through, and then squeeze down on the handle until you hear a snap. And all the wires on the end should be cut off as well, leaving you with a perfect RJ45 connection. If all the wires are not cut off, then squeeze the handle one more time to finish the job. Once everything looks good, you can test the plug with a network cable tester. So what are the advantages of using an Easy RJ45 connector? The first and most important advantage is that you can see the wire order before crimping. There's no more wait and see if it works. The second advantage is it's faster terminations for beginners and high volume jobs. And the third advantage is cleaner seating because you can pull the wires tight, reducing slack inside the plug. Less slack means a better quality connection. So what are the disadvantages of using an Easy RJ45 connector? Well, first, you need a specialized pass-through compatible crimper with a clean cutting blade. Second, if the crimper doesn't cut flush or the blade is dull, it can leave tiny wire ends sticking out. This can cause scratching, corrosion over time, or in rare cases, contact issues. And third, some pass-through designs can be pickier with thicker Cat6 conductors. Now let's install the RJ45 with a load bar. And these are the connectors for the installation. This is a 100 pack of standard Cat6 RJ45 plugs with load bars. I think this pack cost around $15. All the load bars come in a separate pack, which is nice. And here are the RJ45s with gold-plated connectors. Before we get started, let me show you how this works. The load bar on the right will insert into the RJ45, just like this, with the curved part up and to the back. And of course, we'll have to insert the wires first.
You can see here, like this. And we'll put the wires in through here and push them in through here, like so. Okay, like that.
The tools you'll need for this installation are a wire stripper and a standard Cat5e or Cat6 Ethernet crimper.
There we go. There we go. Once you get these in order, you don't want to snip these across straight, so easier to go in to the load bar. See? And then when it goes in the load bar, it's super smooth. There we go. Now, here's the load bar. Let's get a close up so you can see. That's how it's going to go. Just going to make sure these are all scrunched together, which is possible. like so. There you go. Next thing you want to do though is you do want to check and make sure the wire order is correct. So let's do that. So we have white, orange, orange, white, green, blue, white, blue, green, and white, brown, brown. So we're all good. Now I just want to push this all as far as we can, close to the jacket as possible. This is really good actually. See how much space we got there? Not a whole lot. The less, the best. So first thing we have to do now is hit to snip the end here, like this, and flush cut, okay? All the way as close as you can to the load bar. And make sure you use some good scissors. I use Milwaukee. They make some fantastic electrical scissors. And then we're gonna go ahead and use this and inserts like this, not like this, okay? Like that. Snap it in. There you go. Now look how far that goes in. That's great. Next, good old-fashioned crimper. Just go ahead and put it in here. Like that. Push it in. And just one press down, one snap, pull it out. And we're good to go. Now we'll go ahead and test it with a tester and make sure everything is all good. You know, you should always test your cables. So this is from a company called Clean Tools. And go ahead and put it in here. And there's one at the end. This is a kind of a cheap tester. I'll show you a better tester in a second from NetAlly. We'll do that one as well, just so you can see. And we'll hit test. And we pass. So very easy. I did this side as well earlier with the load bar. Let me show you the other tester, which is really cool. A little more high-end tester, but I think you might like it. So let me show you this one. And we're going to plug in one end at the top here. So, and then one end to the side right here, like so. Like that. And once it's on, we can go ahead and test it as well. This will be linked in the description below as well. And this is the Link Runner AT1500. This is more of a professional tester, but definitely could use this for home use if you have a lot of cable runs and you want to make sure these runs are done correctly and there's no faults or there's no bad wiring or missed wires. So this is a great way. And also if you do a lot of these patch cables, making your own cables, great tester to have. Totally recommended. And we're going to do the cable test. So we're plugged in and we'll do the cable test. And we'll hit start. And it takes about 3 or 4 seconds and then so we got here. We are good. Yep, even gives you the feet, 3 feet. So everything looks correct. It's all lined up correctly. We have no issues with pins not being all the way in or missed wires. Yep, we are good to go.
Okay, with these 3 connector types, which one should we choose for a home or business network? Well, the winner is the standard RJ45, and here are a few reasons. First, it's a more reliable connection. It's solid with proven crimps that hold up over long term. Second, it has no exposed wire ends. This type of connector is fully sealed, which means no corrosion or moisture can enter the connector. Third, there is no extra pieces. There is no low bar to fiddle with here, and nothing to lose. Fourth, there is no special tools. This connector works with the standard crimper you already own. And the fifth reason, this is the professional's choice. Professional installers use this for home and business networks. So which one of these connectors should you avoid? The one you should avoid is the easy RJ45 or pass-through connector. Reason 1, exposed wire ends. An open connector invites moisture, corrosion, and oxidation over time. Second, connection issues. Inconsistent crimps can cause intermittent drops, especially under PoE load. Third, requires a specialized crimper. The easy RJ45 requires a specialized crimping tool. And the fourth reason, you should never use these outdoors. Once again, the exposed conductors are an entry point for the elements. So the winner is the standard RJ45, and the loser is the easy RJ45. and the RJ45 with a low bar is somewhere in the middle. I'm not a fan of extra pieces or extra tools. That's why I chose the standard RJ45. Alright guys and gals, now that you know which connector type to use for your home or business network, make sure to check out this video right here. You're gonna love it. And with that, make sure to like, share, subscribe, and comment. And for God's sakes, smash the bell icon. And I'll see you real soon. High five. Peace.